Part, Johnes Part 1.
Good morning, good afternoon. April 21st, 2024. I'm Johnes Ruta from New Haven, Connecticut, USA. I'm an independent curator, an art theorist, and a writer. And I'm here with my long-lost dear friend Jean-Pierre Sergent, who I knew when he lived in Long Island City, New York, until 2003. And I've come here to talk with him and to spend some time and see his work and to learn about what he's working on these days and renew our friendship. So I would like to ask him some questions about his work and have him speak informally as much as possible. So I have some questions I wanted to ask him about his time in New York, the years that he spent there. He said from 1993 to 2003, and how you got there, Jean-Pierre, and about your associations there with artists and your affinity with the Beat generation, with Alexandra David-Niel.
Yeah, but she's not the Beat generation.
Okay,
yeah.
no, but as a personal. Your inspirations from Allen Ginsberg and his poetry, from Norman O'Brown's work Life Against Death, 1959, which was essentially a psychoanalysis of history. Richard Serra's sculpture, and others. So please tell me what you like about those things and how you relate.
Well, first of all, Jonas, thank you so much for being there. It's really a great pleasure to welcome you in Besançon.
Yes.
Yeah, we haven't seen each other for more than 20 years.
Yeah.
So that's a good, it's really important for me to exchange with you. And yesterday we went to the Courbet Museum and we had a nice time to see the city of Ornans.
A wonderful time.
Yeah, and painting of Courbet and all those great artists. And so today it's a bit cold but sunny still. It's a bit of sun, but we are like in winter time.
Yeah,
and yeah, it's so important. We have not been in touch so much, but in New York I knew you through our common friend Miguel Angel Balteria,
yes,
who is an architect, and we have been going to several exhibitions together, and also we often talk about artists and how art is important. And to get back to the point, I get to New York because I was after I had a farm in France for 10 years. I moved to Montreal, and from Montreal then I moved to New York in '93. Yeah, and I had 3 studios: one in Brooklyn, in Dumbo, and one in Chelsea. And then I moved out in Long Island City. I moved in Long Island City, where you came to visit me with your friend Henry. Yeah, that's why.
We had a nice studio there in Long Island City that I came to visit many times, and it's very interesting to see what you were working on at the time.
Yeah.
Your prints, and we'll talk about that. I'm very curious to know about your methodology and how you work, and so. In a sense, though, on a philosophical level, you describe yourself as an artist and an anthropologist.
No, I'm not anthropologist.
No, not formally.
No, I'm interested in anthropology because it's where I'm.
That's what I mean.
But I'm not. No, I'm not.
Not formally, right?
Yeah.
Me either. I'm self-taught in the art world as a writer, and so, but especially how you, in your work involving Karma Kali, in tantric experience, sexual dreams, and paradoxes, which are very much of interest. So I wanted to ask you, can you reference these categories in your work and briefly explain the background of your ideas? And so to introduce those unfamiliar terms to many people as far as this production and how we would like to, in my mission, to really develop these ideas in the world and the public so that they're not overlooked.
Yeah, I understand. Well, it's complicated to explain because it's mostly about sexual energy and life is energy. And you cannot find that in books, you have to experience it. You know?
Exactly, yes, it's
experiential.
experiential.
So I started to work with pornographic images in New York in 1998, I believe. Mm-hmm. I've always been fascinated by the image of sexuality and ejaculation and pleasure and ecstasy. Mm-hmm. It's like before people used to like ecstasy in religion, you know, like woman in ecstasy, or even Christ is an ecstasy to death. But I rather experience ecstasy to sexuality, you know. And I'm gathering a lot of images from the net, and I'm redrawing those images to have something like flat, like my work is a bit like the papier découpé of Matisse, you know. It's cut out of Matisse, you know. So
okay.
Because silk screen is working like that. It is a black or white. You print it or you don't print it. So it's a line or a shape. You know, you cannot. There's no nuance. There's no. Yeah. So you could see in my wall here. I have a lot of.
Yes.
There's a lot of images, and I'm using also a lot of patterns coming from different cultures. In that sense, I'm curious about what other cultures have done to access to sexuality and to access to spirituality. That's my both way of research. You know, I really want to go there. Yeah, because unfortunately, maybe it's a lack of spirituality in our society who bring me to those places. But people will not understand that if I'm using sexual schema, I will talk about spirituality. It's not connected for them. You know? So
right.
No, that's a big problem. That's the main problem.
Really the problem that artists face because the work can be categorized.
Exactly. Yeah.
And so we try to move beyond that, that lack of understanding of the connections between the spiritual and the physical.
Exactly. Yeah. That's true.
So and now in this time, and I've seen many changes towards sexual freedom and orientation being more accepted in the public, that there's still a drawback in the public against this kind of expression, or not to more likely to categorize it rather than integrate it into social understanding. So that's part of my goal. Yeah,
but regular people, who, you know, they don't care about those concepts.
Yeah.
They just want to buy, you know. We are in contemporary society. We want to buy things. They're traveling. They're buying a new car, and they get a new mistress or whatsoever. You know, just like we are living in a totally stupid society. Just there's no care anymore for other people. You know,
Well, that essentially is the problem. It's up to the creative energies and the artists to really develop an integrated understanding in the public so that these things are not just overlooked. And this is why I feel it's so really important for this to kind of be brought out into the world more deliberately. Not to overwhelm the public, but to create identifications and what I call experiential.
Yeah.
And how the people can understand their sexual experiences as being naturalistic. So
but the problem is that as for example, I had a big show for 4 years at the Besançon Fine Art Museum, and I had 4 walls like this in the staircase. I didn't have any response from the public. Nobody called me after that. It's just they don't see the work. They don't look at the work. They don't have the culture to look at the work. They don't have the curiosity to look at the work. It's just they're living in their own mind and their own car, and it's getting terrible because nobody like artists anymore. Nobody. No, but that's true. That's really true.
Do you find that the way people look at work with erotic references to be more furtive, perhaps? They're
not even. No, it's art in general.
Yeah, openly appreciate it.
I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know.
It's an old question because people who were buying art were educated before.
Next point.
Yeah.
In your work, you in your conversation, you talk about other connections and inspirations and influences from les chants adamantines, Saraha, Lara Breitstein, Art, Science and Ritual by Anand Mukherjee.
Yes. I like to read about Indian tantric practice.
Right.
Yeah. Maybe I could quote a text if you want, or...
Yes.
Yeah? It's from Mukherjee. He wrote a lot of books about Tantrism.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So, Tantra is a creative mystery that leads us to transmute our action more and more into inner awareness.
Okay.
So you become more aware of the world. Not by stopping acting, but by transforming our action into creative evolution.
Mm.
That's the role of the artist.
Okay.
Its aim is not to discover the unknown, but to realize the unknown. To realize, to do it,
Mm.
To realize it. Because what is here is elsewhere, and what is not here is nowhere. You have to go back to reality. What is there, or what is not there.
Mm-hmm.
You don't have to go into bullshit religious concepts whatsoever.
Okay.
You go to life reality. The result is an experience that's even more real than that of the objective world. Yeah, and I've become to believe that I'm working a bit into what the Hindu call the Mayan illusion.
Mm-hmm.
Like a dream, big dream.
Yeah.
I think I'm doing that.
Which has some prophetic.
It's a dream, no, not prophetic, but it's another level of reality.
Mm.
Yeah.
Okay. Mm. Which is that something that's reachable through the dreams?
Dream or shamanic trances.
Trance and shamanic.
Oh, yeah.
Okay.
But they are there. We live with them. We live with the energy, but we don't feel it. That's the main problem. And maybe some artists could feel this energy by colors, by shapes. Yeah.
But okay, well, that was one question. But as far as what you're referring to, could be described in Jungian terms as sort of the collective unconscious and how it's thought of in the West. But in native cultures, it's more definitely integrated into the experience of the tribal consciousness level.
Exactly. the main problem is today we don't have we do have like a common unconsciousness, but it's narrowing. Because to be aware of the world is to be open-minded. And North American was doing prayer to beauty, to the sun, to the bison, you know, they were connected to nature, which we are today totally disconnected to nature. Yeah.
Okay, that's an important point you said.
Yeah.
Yes, because it really is connected with nature. It's also an expression of nature into human consciousness.
Sexuality.
Human reality.
Yeah.
Okay.
I'm going to quote a second
please.
about Kali, about the sexual. My work, Karma Kali. That's a work I have done like 2 years ago.
Okay.
It's printed on 60 by 80 print on paper.
Nice. Good scale.
So Kali symbolizes the active cosmic power of eternal time. Kala, annihilation, to time, you know.
Okay.
For it is only at the price of our death and destruction that the seed of life can germinate. It's like some kind of sacrificial. Kali embodies creation, preservation, and destruction. All three aspects of it.
Okay.
So it's life, sex, and death. You know, she's inspired both terror and fervor. As a disintegrating force, she is painted black because all colors disappear in black. In the same way, all names and form disappear in her. So it's really something like a black hole who take you in, and she expels it after with life. You know, it's like a respiration, in and out, in and out. You know. And my work is talk about that. So you go in and you go out. You need to be breathing. It's a breath to life. Yeah.
So that's where the idea of inspiration comes from. Breath.
Yeah.
Which is the human interaction with the world through breathing and breath itself. Yeah.
Okay, but maybe we can stop on this part, Jonas.
Yeah.
And I need to renew the camera.